2020, August 23rd, 8 to 10 a.m. So you have, the assumption is that hundreds of workers were on a single several ton slab, and they used sleds and a lubricant and muscle power to put the stones in place. Mathematically, there's no foundation in reality for this sentence, let alone the functionality and structure of trying to feed, house, and clothe that many people, that many slaves in that small of an area, period, in a desert where the nearest food sources is too far away, period. This is no foundation in reality, period. The fastest way you can build a pyramid that way is about 15 to 25 to 40 years, period. Archaeology lets us know that the pyramids were built in about 6 to 8 years, period, which means they put one stone into place every about half to a second and a half, period. This has no foundation in reality, period. The sleds and manual labor and slaves and such has no foundation in reality, period. Why is this important? Because the story of the pyramids and the Aten built into the causeways using 300 square miles of area and 300 years is a much more elaborate story, period. The shin built in, 5 or 6 shins built in, period, and the Jesus using this in a lot of the artwork, period, point to an equation sequence that is difficult at best to ignore, period. That equation sequence, new paragraph, points to some information that is difficult at best to work around. We're talking about cities of pillars that have really, really advanced technology to be able to build them. We have the pyramids that are equally as difficult to fathom how they were constructed. The causeways require, to be able to prove the causeways were the Aten, required GPS and the International Space Station and several dozen satellites with extremely high resolution digital photography and supercomputers to be able to merge the millions and millions and millions of high-res satellite imagery and the International Space Station doing scanning of the planet's surface, to be able to compile all that information into Google Earth and its interactive map of the Earth from the surface up to and through orbit, fairly far out orbit too. That's how you prove that all those 6 or 7 or 8 different tools are how you prove that the Aten was there in the first place. How you build it, either those equivalent tools or something else, because you're going to, in real-time communication and real-time on the ground, the construction had to be to the millimeter precise. In orbit, 300 miles up, you have to have a global position. So you have to know, you have to have a pretty good idea from space on the ground where to send the work crew, and so then you have to have a work crew at the fixed point destination, and you have to have a work crew at the site of the pyramid, and be able to have instantaneous communication between all 3 of them in order to be able to know exactly down to the micrometer of where exactly to place the blocks, period.